About to show these little I go. Pay attention, you should stay and learn. Turned up in the club, nigga. You know I came here with baby girl.
Hey, B-A-B-I-E. Everything foreign, we ain't even Chinese. Box hot, stab bread like 9 feet. And I wish I would try to try me. I be there with baby. I be there with baby, yeah. I be there with baby. I be there with baby, yeah. I be there with baby. I be there with baby, yeah. I be there with baby. So you can stop the hate now.
She's a boxing promoter and you know a soldier.
Hey, this is your girl with the Right Hook Show. I'm here with a very important boxer, Clarence Vincent. Clarence, everybody said, where have you been? I mean, you've been gone for a long time, my brother. Where you been?
I just been chilling, but I just stayed away from boxing for a minute. You know, my mom was sick. She just passed a year ago. So she was like my drive, So basically, now I'm able to pick up and rekindle, where I was at once before. So I'm focused now and just coming back. Basically, I just came back just to work out, but I see that I still got it. So, I'm gonna make another run at it.
Well, we're gonna talk about that later. So I just want to give a snapshot of your career. You were a bronze Olympic medalist in 2000 or 2003?
2000 Olympics.
2000 Olympics, right? I mean, how was that? I mean, to win such a prestigious award such as that. You represented your country and you got a bronze medal. How did that feel?
Well, I mean, it was great because actually when I won it, when I actually became a Olympian, actually, when I won the box offs, everybody came to me and said, nobody from the metropolitan area went to the Olympics since Sugar Ray. And they was like, that was over 20 years ago. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know that. And then actually, after I did that, no one went again maybe for like 12 years.
Really?
Like, because, and then no one medaled since me. So I'm the last Olympic medalist from the DMV area. So
Wow. So hold it. So let me get this correct. So after that 2000 Olympic, no one else from the DMV area has won a gold or
medal.
no medal
Since me, and after me, no one else went until Gary Russell went, and then his brother went. But prior to that, nobody went.
But you also won in 1997 and 1998. You won the amateur flyweight for USA. In 1999, you won the bantamweight championship.
Yeah, I became the 16th person in history to win 3 consecutive national championships.
See, those things we didn't even know about you, young brother. I mean, I had no idea that these were on your repertoire. I mean, this is impressive. And then and let's go forward to when you became you made your pro debut. And you did that at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it feel for a young brother from D.C., going into Madison Square Garden? I mean, that's, it's equivalent to Vegas as far as I'm concerned. So what was that feeling like?
Well, that was great, because actually me fighting there, that's like the mecca of boxing, that's where Muhammad Ali, that's where the greats fought at.
Right.
And not only that, I made the most money in my pro debut than anybody from the DMV area, period.
Wow.
That's period. I made more than Ray made, but you gotta think that was an era before his. You know what I'm saying? And he won the gold, but I made more money on my pro debut than anybody from the DMV area, period. So yeah.
So how did you get into boxing?
I started when I was 8. I was following some of my cousins around, and I was always the smallest one, and I was the youngest one. And I went in, and I was just a natural.
You were fast?
I was everything, they showed me once, and I just picked it up. And I think the thing that made me so good was because my mother and father, they didn't want me to do it. And so, you know, when somebody don't
So
want you to do it,
something.
yeah, and they think, they tell you that you can't do it, you want to do it even more.
That's
so
right.
it was just a hobby, you know. And again, like I always tell people, the Olympics was never a goal of mine because I never knew anything about the Olympics. When I looked at the Olympics, all I seen was ice skating and people doing things of that magnitude. I never knew boxing was actually in there, but it took for me to almost make it in '96, and I didn't even know what I actually done. I actually thought I fought the guy Irk Morrell, who became a world champion, but he went on the Olympic team with Floyd Mayweather, which I thought I beat him. Everybody thought I beat him, and they was like, man, you almost made the Olympic team, and I was like 16 years old, and I was like, man, I mean, what you talking about? I ain't know.
What gym did you train out of back then?
Well, I started with Ham.
Oh, really? Ham Johnson?
Yeah, I started with Ham. Then I wound up going to a guy named Sylvester Gapers. But then I went away to college, and they took me in Marquette, Michigan. So I was with the NMU team. So like on our Olympic team, we had a quarter of the Olympic team. It was Brian Valloya, me, Jermaine Teller, and David Jackson.
Yeah.
So we was the four on there, and not only even as a Olympic hopeful at that point in time, like I was always because I was #1 for 4 years straight. So you know they always expected me to do things.
Well, let me ask you this: in terms of this pandemic, how have you been doing? You know, I know it's been hard for you boxers to really, you know, do what you need to do as it relates to getting in the gym, training, and all those other things. So how has it been for you?
Well, actually, it's crazy. I mean, the pandemic affected a lot of people. But for me, it was, I mean, not the lives that was lost or the people that was sick, but it actually benefited me.
How was that?
Well, because it wasn't nothing else to do but work out. So that's one of the things that got my mental flowing again, and you know, got me back into my boxing mind frame, because it was nothing else to do but train. So once I started training, I said, man, I might as well do it. And then I was in the gym, and everybody was like, man, you still good, man. If I never knew that you left, I would have thought that you just always been doing it.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't find you. You was like off the face of the earth. I mean, because, you know, you were the one that fought on my very first card, 2006, at the Lincoln Theater. And like I told you earlier off camera, I was like, wow, I forgot all about that you fought on my very first show. And I was like, wow. And then you turn around and then you fought on my card in 2007. That was for, I believe it was a WBF title belt, which you didn't, you were disqualified, I want to say, because you didn't make weight.
No, but I won the fight.
You won the fight, and that was a great fight, but you didn't make weight. I want to keep throwing that out. Let me ask you this. I always wanted to ask you this. As a promoter, and as a first-time promoter back then, you know, I had these conspiracy things. I was like, did someone pay you not to make weight just so you would not have this thing on my card, like I wouldn't have this title belt under my promotions?
No, well, actually, again, it goes back to what I was telling you again. You know, I was dealing with a lot. My mom was sick. My mom had just had a stroke. So I was taking care of her, trying to train, and I just had a lot on my mind. And but I mean, I knew what my task was. So, you know, I mean, I was taking care of her, running to the gym, going running, and doing a lot of things. And at that time, you know,
I have to jump in there because this was an amazing bout. An amazing bout, because this young man, he had to lose weight. I remember going into the gym just looking at you. I mean, your face was so drawn in because all the sweat, everything. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I feel sorry for him, because I'm like, I don't know how he's going to do this. How is he going to win?
And I had to lose, actually I had to lose like 11 pounds in one night.
One night.
But I lost like 9.5, like 10, and couldn't get the last 2 off.
And I'm trying to remember, I think they wanted you to forfeit some of your money if you didn't make weight.
Well, I did give them some of my money.
Okay, I you know,
Yeah.
it's so long ago, and I forgot all that aspect, and that's my scene right there. That was the business side of it, but you know, it's such a traumatic event in my life. So,
Yeah.
but I have to say, he came back, and it was the best bout of the night. The best bout by far at the night. I remember the sports commentators just saying how wonderful the fight was, and how you went in there, you were like this warrior. You know, even though you had to lose all that weight, and you came back, and you did it. It was amazing.
Yeah, but you know, actually, so because of that fight, that fight never really set well with me. So I wound up fighting him again my next fight.
I saw that in 2009 at the convention center.
Yeah.
And we got, oh my God, we got to wrap this up. But I tell you, I think I'm going to carry on with him. So we'll be right back on The Right Hook Show. Thank you for tuning back into The Right Hook Show. I'm sitting here with Clarence Vincent. You know, for Clarence, before I left off the other segment, I forgot to ask, what is your fight name?
Untouchable.
Oh, okay. Now let me ask you this, because Clarence Vincent, but people were calling you Adam.
Well, that's my middle name, and so when I first started school, I went to Catholic school. So when I started school, I couldn't spell Clarence, so I would just use Adam Vincent. And so after that, I mean, because I was so small, so everybody just, Adam just stuck with me because of the little character Adam Ant, so they were just calling me Adam Ant. So Adam just stuck with me. So a lot of people so people on the street, they'll call me Adam. So like you could probably like tell like where a person know me from. So a lot of people that actually know me from like boxing, or that's fans of mine, they'll call me like CV or Clarence Vincent, or...
He has a lot of names in the streets, I'm telling you. I mean, God knows I know. Trying to go and find you. You may be in the park playing dominoes.
Oh yeah, one of my
still
favorites.
I know. This guy used to be in the park playing dominoes all the time, trust me on that. So, earlier you said that you are considering coming back.
Yeah, I'm considering it. But actually it was for my son. Actually, I got a son. He reminds me of me. Cause I was all sports, like basketball, football, and boxing. And but like again, I told you I went to Catholic school, so we went to the 8th grade, and so when we came back to go to the 9th grade to go to Archbishop Curl, the guys that I was like taking to the hoop.
Wait a minute, you went to Archbishop Curl?
Yeah.
See, people don't understand this. See, when they talk about boxers, we got some very intelligent boxers. And that's why I always try to bring this out on this show. You know, they give boxers such bad name and a bad rep, but we have intelligent boxers. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I went to Archbishop Curl. So when I went back that year, like the guys, they actually, that I was playing against, so we went out for the JV team, and I actually looked up, and they had stretched up. They was like 6 feet tall, and I was still 4'11". So I was like, man, I ain't doing this. So they wanted me to play football because I was fast and I was good. I was a good running back, and I was running all over them, but they was big. They was hitting me, and I was really feeling it. I said, I ain't doing this no more. I'm going to stick with boxing. One thing for sure, they might be taller than me, but we going to weigh the same amount.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how I deciphered what I wanted to do.
So is your son considering boxing?
Well, he do it all. He basketball. He's a freshman. Actually, he the shortest guy on the team, but he the starting point guard. He's their best free throw shooter. Like if they get text anything, they send him. He's their best 3-point shooter. Play football. He was an outstanding linebacker. And he's real sharp in boxing.
So are you trying to influence him more to go into boxing, or no?
Well, crazy. It's crazy now that you said that, because look, so the first time I fought on your card, my son was like 1 or 2 years old, and I brought him in the ring.
I remember him.
And he was crying and stuff. And so that's the only memory that he had of watching that. So now, I just want to just show him, me. So just to give them a push.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think, but I know me though. Once I get the up and running, I know I'm gonna keep going.
So in your weight division, there's not too many
Big
black fighters.
Well,
correct?
I mean, they're starting to be, but at one point in time, it wasn't.
It was all Latinos.
All Latinos would. I mean, that's predominantly what it is, though. And I mean, that's what I'm used to fighting anyway. And I prefer fighting them because I don't have to look for them. Black fighters, you got to look for them. Latinos, they're gonna be in your face the whole night. All you gotta do is be in shape.
So what is your thought about Mike Tyson coming back?
Well, Mike Tyson always been my favorite. Like, I've met every star was. I mean, like
Mayweather?
Me and Mayweather was in the amateurs. We was in '95.
Wow.
Actually, the first time I met him was in Colorado Springs. So I met him, and yeah, I know him.
So you think Tyson? Well, he's fighting Roy Jones Jr.
But Tyson can't do no wrong to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what he do. I don't care what he do. Like whatever he do in life, like that's my man.
Let me ask you this: if Mayweather was to go up to weight class of Tyson, who would? Well, you already said you.
Tyson, man, all day.
All day Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mayweather. Mayweather, that's my man. But Tyson, that's my guy. Like he can't do no wrong.
Right. I mean, that's amazing to me because here you are as a bantamweight, and then you got a heavyweight that you really love. You would think you would be more into someone that's in your same weight class that you really look up to.
Actually, I was getting ready for a fight here, and so it was at Finley's gym when Finley's was open.
Blue Horizon.
No. Finley's boxing.
Oh,
gym.
Finley's here in DC.
Right.
Oh yeah, old man Finley's.
So I was training here, and I was getting ready to go out of town to fight. I think I was going to fight on the Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest undercard. On pay-per-view. Anyway, Tyson was here, and they was like, man, Tyson coming in. So I had just met him, but he was coming in town, so I had just got finished working out. So I say, well, I'm gonna wait on him and watch him come in. So when he came in, he came a little late, so he came in. So I say, you remember me? He said, yeah, I know who you are. I say, who am I? He say, man, you Vincent. You the guy who won the Olympic medal. I know who you are, man. What's wrong with you? He asked me what was wrong with me. So he had an HBO coat on. So I say, man, can I get that coat? He say, man, he took it off his back and he gave it to me, a HBO coat, right? It's crazy because at that point in time, I was signed exclusive with HBO anyway. So I wound up getting the same coat anyway. But I still got that coat that he gave me. And
Tyson, before we wrap up, Jamie Foxx is playing a movie. It's an biopic of Mike Tyson.
Right.
So I'm just throwing that out to you. Maybe you want to go and see it, but they say it's going to be pretty good. So, but I want to thank you, Clarence Vincent, for coming on the Right Hook Show. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you come back and doing what you do best.
You will.
On the Right Hook Show. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Right Hook Show. This is part 2. We have D'Angelo here, and he's amateur, but and then we have our house
Queenie.
dog, our gym dog. I think he called him Frazier.
Queenie.
Queenie. Oh, I don't know. Queenie. We got Queenie coming in to talk to us a little bit. But D'Angelo, so let me ask you, young man, how first of all, how old are you?
26.
26. How long have you been boxing?
I started at 16, so about 10, 16 years. 10 years.
And so the first gym?
Tony's boxing gym.
That was the one that was over at Southeast over there.
Shannon Road.
Shannon Road, absolutely. I remember that gym. I used to go over there and try to get my little amateurs from over there. So what made you get into boxing?
My older brother and my cousin. I was getting put out of school because I kept fighting. And
Wait, hold on. Let's run. Rewind. Okay, say it again. You were.
I kept getting put out of school because I kept fighting. So my older brother and my cousin, they decided to take me to a boxing gym to help with my anchor and everything. So
And I said that, I wanted him to rewind and say that again because boxing is very good for you moms and dads out there. Boxing is very good.
To channel that anger.
To channel that anger. I keep saying that's why I got boxing, not bullets. Boxing, not bullets. But so you said that you were, you wanted to get that aggression out. So did that help you?
At the time, yeah, but I started to lose focus and then got caught up in the streets and having kids and everything. So I'm more dedicated now and everything.
How many kids you have now?
3.
3?
Yeah, my son over there working out now.
Oh, great. It's always good to see the dads bringing in the young people, you know. So let me ask you this. When you, during this COVID, how do you function in terms of, you know, keep constantly training and doing what you need to do to stay focused?
Well, I try to prioritize my day. Well, when me and my son first wake up in the morning, we study, drink some tea and everything, and then work out or come straight to the gym. And then after that, we just have fun.
Wait a minute, you said tea. That's a good regimen.
Yeah,
I want to know. Like green tea?
No, clove tea,
really?
hibiscus. Anything that I go to the herbal store and get.
So is that like, does that give you more energy or something?
And it helps detox my body. That's why I'm sweating the way I'm sweating now.
Well, okay, what is that again? Well, you didn't tell me out there off air.
I got it.
So, yeah, you said you got your young son in here. Is he interested in maybe pursuing this?
Yeah, he's 10 now, and I've been working with him since he was 3. So he want to have his first fight pretty soon, and then I want to have my first pro fight with after him and everything. So.
Well, we're going to talk about that because right now you're amateur.
Yeah.
And so you have an amateur record. Do you know what the amateur record is? And sometimes you guys know.
Last time I checked, it was 8-2.
Okay, so you've been doing some things. So,
yeah, and there's 7 TKOs.
Yeah, and so while you're doing it, always try to get some footage of yourself because that's what the box commissioners are looking for when you turn pro.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that you have the capabilities to do what you need to do. So that's just a tidbit for you. So so your goal is to turn pro. And that's good because you know the Baby Girl production is all about pro debuts. That's all she does is that's the platform for Baby Girl Productions is making sure those young people get their platform, you know, starting out in that profession.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Look, I love having you because what we need to do is put a shine on you young men because they don't see that other side like I see. And that's why I go in there, I do this, I go in there and I talk about boxing and I be smiling and I remember my bank teller, she said, you must really love boxing. I said, I have a passion for it. Yeah. And when I talk to you young men like yourself, it just gives me this hope that boxing could come back to the level it was. And I like the era of Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali.
Likewise.
And, I mean, I go even back, Joe Lewis.
When it was real.
And it's real. I mean, I used to do a ceremony once a year for Joe Lewis at the Arlington Cemetery. I haven't done that, but I think I'll try to go back and do that as well, honor him. And so what I'm trying to do is give back to you young kids, you young men, I'm sorry, and do this platform for your pro debuts. So so you're ready. Do you think you're ready for the pro?
I know I'm ready. Yeah.
So do you agree that?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I lost ambition because I got tired of getting out of the ring and getting a trophy or a medallion. So I'm more looking to getting a purse or getting paid so I can take care of my family.
Well, absolutely. Right. That's why you go in it. It's a job.
Right.
You know,
so that's more motivation for me.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you. Do you agree that boxing is mental as well as you have to have the heart for it?
Yes. Totally. Yes. It's all around body, mind, and soul. You got to be all into it or nothing.
Yeah. And I remember I saw something. Tank from Baltimore when he had his last fight, and I saw him, and I wasn't impressed in the sense that when he came out, it looks like he was really playing. It wasn't like he was really serious. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to take. This is like I said, I think it's a mental sport. Yeah. I've never fought competitively. I fought in the streets, but never competitively. Yeah. All right, like you have. Yeah. So you agree that it's very much so
very
mental.
Yeah, it's very mental, very dangerous, and very competitive all the way around, yes.
And when you just said that dangerous, would you agree that Would you like to see professional boxers wear helmets? Was that something you would like to see?
Not really, because it kind of take out the thrill and
Right.
you know and everything.
Right.
So no, it would diminish the whole point of turning pro and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you get into that ring, it's like you got to defend yourself, and
Right.
and the
At all
thing
times.
is at all times.
At all times, right?
So and I understand that. So
Like with the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight coming up.
I was going to ask you about that.
Being though that they up in age,
Yeah.
and the CTE thing that goes around with brain trauma
Right,
and everything,
right,
I think
right.
they should wear headgear and everything. But
Right,
other than
right.
that, people around my age, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because they're really not doing it to come back to
Right.
make a living at it.
Right, right.
They're just doing it, I think, to raise money.
Right.
And so, I tend to agree with you on that,
Right.
because neither one of them are saying that they're going to shy away from the punches.
Exactly, right.
So I was going to ask you what your thought process was seeing these older guys come back out. Do you ever, if you can look into the future, do you think that when you get to that age, do you think you would ever try to come back out?
It depends on the situation, on the economy and everything. Who knows why they're really coming out? So
Yeah,
it depends.
yeah,
It depends.
yeah, because
if it's just for the love of the sport, then more than likely, yeah.
But I think it's for the bag.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Yeah.
So I'm just looking forward to you doing what you need to do to be this professional fighter.
Yes.
And you do know it takes a lot. You
Right.
know, once you get in that realm of that professional status, it takes a lot. Are you prepared to handle that?
I have the will, yes. I'm willing to do it, yes.
You willing to put in the work?
Yes.
I mean, are you willing to put the ladies aside
Already have,
and,
yes.
and get into that ring and train?
Yes.
I always tell my young boxers, I say, listen, you got to eat, sleep, and dream boxing.
Yes.
That's it.
I do. That's all me and my son do. That's all we've been doing. Yeah. I'm rededicated. I'm focused now.
Yeah. Well,
And due to the pandemic and everything, losing a lot of things, losing my job and all that kind of stuff, it really got me, like, it got that dog back in me. So
yeah, and that's the other thing. That's what I wanted to bring attention to. That our pro debuts, people aren't aware that these young amateurs turning pro, they're not getting paid. And so that's why I'm doing that show, to raise money to help our young people, because they need to have some help, some support.
Understood.
Because it's not like they can call up and go to unemployment and say, oh, well, you were an amateur, you weren't making money anyway. So
Right.
that's
I got
so
it.
it's a whole different thing involved in this, you know?
yeah, I've been doing some research, and by me not having any tournaments under my belt and all that kind of stuff, it'd be hard to get that big nice bag or that purse. So
Oh, yeah,
I understand
absolutely.
I got to work my way up, and I'm willing to
Absolutely.
do that. So I'm
I
looking
mean,
forward
you
to
know
it.
what, D'Angelo, it's been real. They're wrapping me up now, but it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
He's another boxer that got his head on his shoulder right, and I can't wait to see you, make your first pro debut show.
Thank you.
So, again, D'Angelo Gray, everyone.
Correct.
Thank you for tuning in to the Right Hook Show. In closing, I was just constantly looking at the news, and so many reports about young people being killed, babies, fathers, mothers, and just senseless shooting. So I just sat down and I wrote this piece, and I just want to just read it, what I wrote. It's called Gun and a Run. Who are you that can take a gun and run, leaving innocent babies, mommies, and daddies laying, crying, dying from weak, heartless, and soulless people who gun and run? You shout police brutality, but in your own hood, you have such cruelty to someone who looks like you because you gun and run. If only you had the guts to stick around to see that mom, dad, sister, or brother, what they just found on the ground, their baby, bloody, lifeless body, eyes full of tears from everybody, some in shock, some stunned, because you just gun and run, and not even caring what you just have done. Thank you for the Right Hook Show.